A very important place where you need good English is your workplace. Today we are going to talk about how to excel in the use of English in your workplace. When you go to office, when you meet your colleagues or your boss, when you want to talk to your subordinates, or when you attend a meeting with people from other places who might work for different companies or your own company, different branches. In all these contexts, you need good English. Of course, in the already existing more than 275 videos, I have been telling you how to improve your English. I hope all of you are watching those. Now we have a membership scheme also, primary and special membership. I have prepared a separate video for that. If you look at the bottom of the video as you're watching, you will find the title and with a black colored button says join. When you press that, you can join and you will know all the details of membership. Now we come to the workplace. You might be new to a job. You have to find out about the culture of this particular place where you are starting to work. You might have a job for many years in the same office, the same organization, but you hesitate to speak because you feel that your English is not good enough and therefore you need to keep silent when others are speaking English. You might find that in videos where I have given you stories about learning English, people are telling you how they hesitate if they are not good at the language. So the first point about workplace English is, if you really want to excel, please learn the rules and listen to more and more correct English. Many times it so happens that you can speak fluently, but because you are not able to speak the language as it is supposed to be spoken, you feel scared, you feel fear, you feel stress. This is what stops you from practicing, and unless you practice, you cannot become better. It is very difficult to practice English with a lot of mistakes in the workplace. The places where you can practice English with a lot of mistakes, slowly correcting your mistakes, is your home or is the place where only your friends are there who will not judge you for the mistakes you make. Therefore, the first point, as I mentioned to you, is to learn good grammar, pronunciation, vocabulary, and of course, spelling and punctuation, because in the workplace, English is not only speaking, English is writing also. Now we come to the second point. The second point is to understand the kind of English which is used in your job. You must listen with great concentration. I've given you many videos on listening. If you practice that, you will find that your listening abilities improve. For instance, you ask somebody their name, and when they are introducing themselves, you think of something else. Your mind is engaged. So you have told me that my name is Ajay. I did not hear it. Then after a day or two, I said, this person has introduced himself to me, but I don't remember the name. That is terrible, because that person will feel insulted if you ask for his or her name again. Unless we concentrate, we cannot remember. The mind does not absorb unless you are really listening, not listening to the sound, but taking it into your brain, listening to the mind. This kind of a listening, where everything goes into your brain, is what helps you to learn a language. When you are new or when you are hesitating to speak English, even though you've been working for a long time, please see that you listen to everything around you. If somebody speaks one sentence, listen to it. If somebody gives an entire lecture, listen to it. Many of you will say, we don't understand, that is why we don't listen. Don't worry. In a single workplace, the English gets repeated. The words, the sentence structures, each of these things get repeated. When you are used to this kind of repetition for a few days, then your English will automatically improve. That is what we say, mantra in the Indian context. You keep repeating the same line again and again. That is called mantra because it takes you to a higher level. Now that higher level is spiritual higher level. Today I am talking about English higher level. Today mantra is not an Indian word anymore. You search in the dictionary, you will find in the Oxford dictionary that the word mantra is there. That is repetition. So if you repeat, if you hear repeatedly, and if you try to use those sentences repeatedly, that will help. If somebody tells you that I'm working on a project and this is the role I fulfill, look at the sentences that person has used. Now you exchange. You say, my role in this office is like this. My project is like this. The structures are exactly the same. You listened and you improved yourself. So this helps a lot. Another thing to improve your workplace communication is to carry out conversations whenever you can. Suppose you have gone to the tea kiosk to drink a cup of tea. You are taking a break of 5 minutes. You meet a few people there. If you drink your tea silently, you get the pleasure of drinking tea, but your English does not improve. Therefore, you can talk to everybody by saying, today the tea is very nice, or today the tea is not hot enough. I prefer green tea. Would you like tea with milk or sugar? Some people want to have coffee. Do we have a coffee machine also in this office? All these questions, if you have in your mind, then you will get answers in English and your English is getting practiced. You are sitting at your cubicle, there is somebody next door. You say, oh, today I forgot my charger. May I borrow yours? You are starting a conversation. In this way, if you start your conversation with your colleagues, each conversation helps you to learn about the workplace culture. You say that, will somebody come and serve us lunch here? Then your colleague says, no, we are not allowed to eat lunch in the office premises. Now see how the conversation is going forward? You are learning about the office. In the office, you cannot have lunch, but there is a cafeteria in the next building. We all go there to have our lunch. So if you are new, somebody is giving you directions and you go there. Now, how should I reach this department? You want to go to a particular department. Then the person says, you go up to the 5th floor and then take the corridor to your left. Who do you want to meet in that office? Somebody asks you. Then you say, I want to meet such and such a person. Why do you want to meet this person? You say that I have some work with that person. Or I know this person already before I joined this office. In this way, you are learning the geography of your office. You are learning, you are getting to tell about your friends who work in the office. You are practicing your English. It is formal English in the workplace. We generally don't use very informal English or a mixture of 2-3 languages when we are talking in the workplace. A very important place where you can practice your listening and speaking is a meeting. Usually, you might have a meeting every morning, or you might have a meeting once a week. There is a fixed day, Monday afternoon from 3 to 5 is the meeting. So you go to the meeting and there you have to listen. For 1 second you cannot allow your mind to go elsewhere because you need to pay attention. Then you can ask questions about what the speaker has said. You can give your suggestions, your comments, everything what you're doing to the YouTube videos. Many of your suggestions have been incorporated in videos already. So when you attend a meeting, you are practicing your listening and speaking. Suppose you are hesitant about speaking, you have a very good suggestion in your mind, but you don't want to say it because you feel your English is not good enough. Then you try to write down that suggestion. Writing is much easier for us because we have learnt to write before we have learned to speak. In English, it's not like the mother tongue. We learn to speak first. But in English, in schools, you started learning to write. In all examinations, you wrote many pages, but you could not speak those many pages. Now, when you write down what you want to suggest, and when your turn comes, somebody says, any suggestions? The speaker asks you, you raise your hand by saying yes. And then you can take help from the paper where you have written and you can give that suggestion. Reading and writing also are very important in the workplace. I have already given you many videos on writing skills, starting from paragraph writing, email writing, formal and informal letter writing, essay writing. All these will be very useful for you. One thing which you require, of course, is project writing. Then project writing also I shall do soon. If somebody has already written a file or a document, you need to read it carefully. Your boss has given you a file and said that you summarize this and give me. We call it as a lawyer's brief. Brief means short. So you read 100 pages and you make it into one paragraph. That is précis writing. Maybe someday I'll do that also. So you have to read it carefully, get the idea what is being said and reduce it or give your comments or give your opinion, your ideas. As you become more and more senior, lower level people will write the files and you will give your expert comment. All these require writing. But before you write, you should learn to read. Reading also requires that you know good English. Your foundation of English should be good. That is why the channel is called English Classroom. It is as though you have joined in the first class and there are videos to take you up. I'm not giving you in the order in which you go up from first class to second class and then, fifth, seventh, ninth class. Not like that. Because we have different types of people on YouTube and everybody wants to learn something. So I'm giving them in a rotational way. Sometimes the videos are very simple, very basic. I started by the channel started a year back by giving language drill. Drill means exercise, we do raising our hands, lowering our body, that is drill. So language drill, noun and verb language drill. This is the very basic thing. There are many such basic videos. There are many advanced videos. So you have to choose. In the office, you have no chance of choosing. Whatever is given to you, you have to read. But to be able to read it well, you need to practice reading first. And that is why many videos are with text, which you can read aloud. This will help you. With my huge experience of teaching 45 years and, studying English for another 20 years, I can tell you that even today, I understand better if I read aloud. People keep asking me to write articles for their journals. Recently, I wrote an article. Then after writing 1 or 2 paragraphs, I read it aloud. That makes me hear better. That makes me understand. What should I write before it? What should I write after it? This is the way reading has to be. Reading with understanding of the meaning and framing the correct kind of opinion on it. And then writing. Very often you have to write. It is not enough to read. Almost every day you might have to answer emails in your workplace. Now, what is the email etiquette in your office? I started by telling you office culture determines your English. So find out what kind of email writing is preferred. Should you sign off by giving your name or your position in the company? Very often name is not given, only the position is given. Senior analyst you say, or you give your name and then you say senior analyst. These are possibilities. If you're writing an email to a person whom you do not know, then should you write that person's designation or should you write that person's name? Now, writing the name makes it more eye-catching. It makes it, grab attention much more. Therefore, it is used. Suppose you are a company which wants to write emails for selling a product or for giving publicity to a product. Then you will find out the emails of all your possible customers and write to them by name. Because if you mention the name, that person will surely read the email. If you just mention, dear customer, nobody might read that email. They say, oh, this email is not necessary. So email is something you have to write every day. You might have to write minutes of the meeting. Suppose your department has a meeting, your boss tells you that today's minutes you will write, which means you have to write down every point which everyone has discussed in the meeting. You cannot miss out anything. You can, of course, record the meeting and write the minutes later. These days we have lot of technology where the word becomes text. You can easily get the text if you put the audio. Then you have to correct it. You have to organize it. You have to see whether the first draft which you got is good enough to go as the final draft. Very often important people might come to your office. Then you have to note down what they have said and bring it out in your newsletter. Or you might want to contribute the progress of your department for the newsletter item. All these are workplace writing exercises. For everything, as I've been telling you throughout my 275 videos, we need to have a firm foundation of English. This firm foundation of English comes with daily practice. So remember to practice every day. Even if you are excellent, continue to practice till everybody says Your English is so inspiring that I'm learning from you. I want that. These 85,000 or 87,000 subscribers on the channel Sumita Roy's English Classroom should become so good that each one of you can teach English. That is my aim. I will not live forever. Therefore, each one of you can carry this forward. And you will do this better if you are a part of the channel membership, which I have already told you about. At the bottom of the title, where you can see the title, look at the black button which says join. Join it. Be together in this team of learning English. Thank you and all the best.